Dear students, this week we are going to start to learn how to draw a building in its plan, section, and elevation projections. We are going to learn how to do the presentation in 1/100 scale. So let's start with our 20-second exercise. In this exercise, we are given a building, a simple building like this, and we are asked to draw the ground floor plan of this building in the first part of this exercise. Here are some very important tips for you. We always need to draw plans, sections, elevations, or other types of projections like the perspective projection, the two-point perspective, and other types of those projections we learned in our earlier weeks, with the building in its near surrounding. Okay, this is very important because we are creating expressions of this building, and we should never present that building without its context. It's very important for us to indicate the near surrounding so that people can understand its relations. And you know, every building has a context. There are various things around it, such as other buildings, like roads, trees, other plants, people, bridges, things like that. The properties, the objects that belong to natural environment or a man-made environment, the things that have been made by other people previously. So when we look an urban environment from above, this is what we are going to see mainly. Buildings can be constructed like this one here in a plot, and plot is this area that has an owner. First, people buy this plot area, and after that, you can construct a building over that area. And as you can see, these plots, there are lots of plots in this area, which we call a block. So we can imagine that the big part, the big area is the block, and it's surrounded by roads, as you can see here. And then in the master plan decisions, all that city, this block area are divided into plots, and each plot can have a different owner, and you can construct a building over each plot. And in this example, we see that buildings are separated. They have their own garden. Here, this building is separated from this one with a garden, with its plot. And this one here, so these are the separated buildings. This defines an order. However, we can have blocks like this. As you can see, there is this block area, and it's surrounded by roads, and it's divided into plots. However, this time a building is constructed over the plot area totally. So we get buildings which are adjacent to each other. Okay, they don't have garden areas. They are adjacent to each other, and they are adjacent to the road. Unlike this one here, which has a garden area between the road and the building. So these are the two main types of building order. And here we see that there is a road in front of the building and another street in the back of our building. And it's in a plot area surrounded by its own garden. And we see two neighbor buildings next to this one here, but they are expressed in its mass form. We don't get a detail about these neighbor buildings because we need to concentrate on our building. So they are expressed in its mass form, in a kind of an abstract expression. So as you can remember, if we want to draw a plan of a building, of an object, this means that we need to cut it horizontally in half. And the height of this red cutting plane is important because it says in the question, it says we need to draw the ground floor plan. We can consider the eye height of a person who is standing on the ground floor. As you can see here, this is the ground, the soil, the garden, around the building and the road. So we can call it a ground. And when you step one or two steps, this is the ground floor because it's on the ground. So when we say ground floor plan, we need to imagine a man who is standing on the ground floor, and we need to consider their eye height. So it can be approximately 170 centimeters if we assume that this man's height is like 180 or 85 centimeters something. So the height of this cutting plane can be the eye height of the man who is standing on the ground floor. So here in this example, we have just a one-story building. However, this building may have several stories. So if this is the ground floor, the one floor above this one can be called the first floor. The other can be called the second floor, or we can call the floor below this ground floor as the basement floor. So if the question says we need to draw the first floor plan of the building, then we can imagine that this man is standing on the first floor. So we need to consider his eyesight. And if we need to draw the basement floor plan, then we can assume that this man is standing on the basement floor, and we can find his eyesight level. So this is the ground floor. He's standing on the ground floor, and we need to draw the ground floor plan. So this is how we assume that. Starting from this surface of the ground floor, we need to go upwards for 1 meter, 70 centimeters high, and we need to cut the building in half, elevate the upper part, and look down, step between these parts, and look down. And we need to draw what we see. So this is what we see. It's the same thing, just a little focused. So as you also remember, we need to start the drawing by the surfaces that are being cut by this plane. So let's first decide which surfaces are being cut, and so that we can know how to start the drawing. Here we see these vertical surfaces of the building, which we call walls, are being cut. So we get this surface here. And for now, we can assume that the thickness of these walls are 20 centimeters. It's just an assumption. It doesn't matter right now. Next semester, you are going to learn how to decide these surfaces. And according to your decisions, the thickness may change. But for now, you can assume that they are 20 centimeters thick. So we get a 20 centimeter thickness in these surfaces. And you can see that there are transparent parts in these walls, which we call windows and doors, maybe, these openings. They're also cut. So we get this, the glass surface here, which is being cut. And after that, if we are sure there are no other surfaces that are cut, we can move on to the surfaces that we see in the lower levels. So let's decide which surfaces we see. First of all, we see the borders of the floor, ground floor. Here it has two terraces. in front and in the back. And we can see the borders, the whole surface here. And the upper surface of these floors, like in this example, there are lines. However, in different floors, we can have different colors, textures, or other stuff. So we need to draw what we see when we look down. Also here, you can realize that these upper parts of the walls beneath the windows can be seen, the upper surfaces. And these walls are, this part of the walls are called a parapet. A parapet, it's same in Turkish. So it's the upper surface of window parapets. These are the wall parts below the window. So we can call them window parapets because there are other parapets in the building. So it will be easier for us to indicate it, to emphasize it, that these are the window parapets. So we see the upper surfaces. And if there is a furniture, we see the top view of the furniture. Also, as you remember, we talked about expressing the near surroundings. So these are what we need to indicate in our drawings, the near surrounding. In the near surrounding, there are upper surfaces of the sidewalks, which are actually the covered areas. We put some materials so that we can have a hard surface that we can walk over. And there are other areas which are uncovered. So when we look down, that's what we see, the upper surface of the soil, or if there are plants like flowers or grass or something, we see them. And these are the uncovered areas. So this is why we cover the sidewalks and the other terrace areas, because when it rains, these uncovered soil areas can be muddy, and it can dirt our shoes. So we cover all these sidewalks and terraces and walkways so that we can get rid of that muddy surface. This is how we can name them: the covered areas, the uncovered areas, or you can say hard surfaces, soft surfaces as well. And if there are walls that indicate the borders of our plot area, then we see the upper surfaces of these walls, the garden walls. And also we need to indicate that there are neighbor buildings. And if there are trees, we need to show them in our drawing. So this is how we need to do the drawing in this order. We need to start with the cut surfaces, and then we can move on to the scene surfaces. And at the end, we need to indicate the near surrounding. So let's do this. Let's start by cutting drawing the cut surfaces first. And as you remember, we learned about different line types and line weights. Please do not forget that for these cut surfaces, we need to prefer the continuous line. However, we need to do them as thick and very black lines to indicate that these are the cut surfaces. So this is what we need to draw. You need to first open the PDF document that I provide for you in the website so that you can see all these dimensions here. And by using these dimensions, you need to make your drawing right now. So if you want, you can just pause the video here and go to the website, to the lecture notes and exercises. Here you will see the exercise 22, and you can download this PDF to get those dimensions. And if you keep them on your side by using a telephone or your tablet or something else, it will be easier for you to do the drawing exercise. And you can fix your paper, an A4 drawing paper, white drawing paper, like this time horizontally. You don't need to do the header for this exercise, obviously. So you can fix your paper like this horizontally and place your position, your T-square and Z-squares and your pencils and other stuff. And you will be ready to do the exercise. So if you want, you can pause right now and do your preparations and then continue with the video. So let's first draw the walls, the first cut surfaces with continuous and very thick and black lines here. And you can start with this corner here, this corner of the building. You can position your drawing here because we are going to continue to do the section and an elevation. So you can divide your paper into 4 areas. And by using this corner, you can measure a 6 centimeter, 20 millimeter, 2 millimeters towards the right side and go for 2.9 centimeters towards the upper part and find this corner here. This corner is that corner of the building. So you can start drawing from this corner here. You need to use this distance and this one here to find that corner. And you need to know that this is that corner of the building. So we need to draw these cut surfaces by using thick and black lines like that. As you can see, there is an L-shaped surface of these 2 walls here. Starting from this corner, I need to go upwards, and then the thickness is 20 centimeters here, and then go down and go this way and another 20 centimeters and close this surface and do this part and do this other corner, this long L here, and the rest. Here, it's very important for us to learn that we need to use a scaling method. Before this time, we worked on objects and we use their exact same dimensions in millimeters. However, because this building is so big, it's impossible for us to draw it in its original dimensions, so we need to scale it. Generally, for this step, we prefer 1/100 scale. So how are we going to do that? This is what we need to do. We need to consider, we need to know that every 1 centimeter dimension measure in reality will be drawn as 1 centimeter on the paper. So if there is a 5 meter long wall here, like in this one here, you need to draw it as a 5 centimeter long wall. If the thickness of the wall is 20 centimeters, then you need to do this thickness in the drawing as 2 millimeters. This is how you need to scale every dimension so that the drawing will fit in our paper. Here you can find all the dimensions, as I told you before, in the PDF document. This is what we are dealing with. We are looking at a 4 meter to a 5 meter building area here with 20 millimeter thickness walls. Here you see after a 70 millimeter wall, we have an opening which we placed a glass surface for the window for 1 meter 50 centimeters long. After that, the wall continues for another 2 meter 80 centimeters, so that the total is 5 meters. And here we see a 70 centimeter wall, a 1.10 meter window area, another 60 centimeter wall, an opening for the door for 90 centimeters, and there is 70 centimeters left till this corner. So the total gets the 400 centimeters. And we see the same wall here with the same window on this side. And a very similar wall, just the position of the door and the window is changed here at the back. So by using these dimensions, we first need to scale them, 1/100 scale, and then do this drawing, these surfaces here. After you finish them, we need to indicate that there are glass surfaces that are being cut horizontally. However, as you know that the thickness, the original thickness of the glass is very low, very small. In its original form, it's like 3 millimeters, 5 millimeters or something. It's nearly impossible for us to scale it and draw it like this, because in its original form, it's 3 millimeters. And it's impossible, nearly impossible for me to scale it and draw a very tiny rectangle on my paper. So we can just use a thick line and we can imagine that this thickness has the original thickness. It represents the original thickness. And we can just draw a line instead of a rectangle. So as you can see, the windows are positioned in the middle of this thickness. So here, by using these middle points, we can draw our thick and black lines to indicate that there are glass surfaces that are being cut. Here, as you can see, we have 4 windows. So these are the windows that we need to draw here. And since there are nothing else that are being cut, we can move on to the surfaces that we can see when we look below. Here are the list, and we can start with this top 4. And please do not forget, this time, because we are expressing the surfaces that are seen, we need to use, again, continuous line type. However, we need to prefer the middle thickness, middle darkness to indicate that they are not cut, however, seen surfaces. We can do the order like this. Here, the cut surfaces are the highest level. And when we step down a little bit, we will find the upper levels, upper surfaces of the parapet walls, window parapets. So we can draw them by using middle thickness, middle darkness, line weight. And please note that, as you can see here, to indicate that there is a level difference between the corner of this cut surface and the corner of the seen surface here, parapet wall, I just leave a little gap to indicate that level difference. I need to do this to emphasize that there is both a level difference and these lines are to express the cut surfaces. However, these lines, these thinner lines, are to express the seen surfaces with a level difference. So after this, we can move on a little bit lower, and probably we will find an object there. So we need to look down and draw its upper view. Let's say that we draw, there is a chair like this here. We will see its upper surfaces, the top view. So this is what we need to draw, again, by using middle thickness, middle darkness lines, because it's not cut. After that, we can move on a little further, and we are going to find the edges of the floor, ground floor. Here in this PDF document, you will find the other dimensions in the second page. So we see that in the front and the back, there are terrace areas for 1 meter on this direction and 4 meters on this direction. and there are lines, as you can see, over the surface. So this is what we need to draw, again, by using the middle thickness, middle darkness line type, and by leaving a little gap to indicate that there is this level difference. I first draw the edges of the surfaces, and these all white areas now indicate the upper surface of the ground floor. However, because there are lines there in this example, I need to draw those lines as well. In this terrace, I have 3 lines positioned 25 centimeters apart. In the indoor environment, in the indoor space, I have lines positioned in this direction. Again, please be careful about leaving those gaps to indicate all the level differences. As you can remember, it's missing here on this image. However, you remember that there is this chair, so I need to leave the gaps to indicate that level difference between the upper surface of the chair and the ground floor here. And on this terrace area, again, I have lines similar to the front one. After that, I need to move on to the near surrounding. As you can see, I have 2 steps here, a walkway, a short walkway, and sidewalks here with the street areas. So this is what we need to draw. Also, I have the upper surfaces of these garden areas. I can draw these walkways, sideways, and 2 steps here and 2 steps there at the back. And I can, in order to indicate the soft soil surfaces, I can just draw the upper surfaces of the garden walls here. So I have 4 walls. One is to separate my plot area from the street sidewalk. Another to separate it again from this back street and sidewalk, because these are communal areas. Everyone can walk in here. However, this is my own property, so I can separate them if I want to by using a wall or any other type of separation. I can design it however I want. And this example has these kind of walls. So this is what we see when we look down. However, if you want, you can design it in another way. So that's what you need to do. But you need to draw what you see when you look down. So these are our walls, and 2 walls to separate us from the neighboring plots. And after that, we need to indicate we have neighbor buildings, as you can see. However, I don't give any details like the thickness of the walls or the windows, because I don't know exactly. Let's say that these are existing neighbor buildings. So I don't need to give all these details because this is what I am focusing right now. I'm trying to express my own building. So these outer boundaries, these lines will be enough here. I don't need to give any more details for neighboring buildings. And I have a tree here. So I can, again, I can imagine that I'm looking down, so I can draw a top view for that tree there. So this is basically everything that I need to do. And by using a hatch, again, I can indicate, I can emphasize the cut surfaces, like by using thinner lines here, which are very close to each other and position a 45-degree angle in a 45-degree angle here. It's just to indicate that these surfaces are being cut. And please do not forget, I just need to do this hatch for these cut surfaces. That's all, nothing else. I don't do this hatch for the surfaces that I see. I do this hatch for only the surfaces that are being cut horizontally. So I have only wall surfaces here. So this is what I need to do, how I need to do the hatch to indicate these cut surfaces of the walls. Yeah, so let's check. I draw all the cut surfaces. I draw what I see when I look down. And there are things that are above my head because I'm here in between looking down. So the things related to this roof of the building, these are the things that I cannot see. However, I need to indicate them in my drawing. They are important things. So I can now indicate them with dashed lines, with middle thickness, middle darkness, line type, line weight, by using dashed lines. Here, there are three boundaries, edges of this roof. This lowest part of the roof, it is projected over over the building, in front of the building, to protect the people from rain here when they stand in front of the door. This part of the roof here, it's just a 50 centimeter projection towards this direction. So I can start this line here and go towards this direction and finish it here. And as you can see, this line starts from the inner side of this wall, 20 centimeter thick wall. And again, it ends in the inner side of this wall. So this is how I need to do. I need to start drawing at this direction here, go for 50 centimeters to the left and turn downwards, and then close the line here. And this is the ridge of the roof, the highest part of the roof. As you can see, it is an inclined surface till here. It raises up to here, and then the inclination moves down. It changes. And again, there is another projection of the roof, the edge of the roof here. So these, I can add these lines. They are dashed lines because I cannot see them. However, I need to use, again, middle thickness, middle darkness line weight there. And as we complete the everything that we need to do, draw the cuts, seen and unseen surfaces, we can add some explanations to our plan so people can understand the building and its spaces in a better way. We can make a list like this so that we don't miss anything. We can start with the movement of the door. There are two doors here, and this is what we need to draw. As you know, if it's a hinged door, if there are hinges on this side, it will rotate. When I want to open the door or close the door, I need to rotate this door with using its hinges. So this is what I need to draw on the plan to indicate that movement, to show that movement, because this is how it will move. So this is very important. Sometimes you need to indicate that by using your compass, by drawing a quarter arc here, circle here, because sometimes I see that some people are doing this. They are using their 45 angle square, set square, instead of their compass. And this is not good because imagine that you are designing a small bathroom area, very compact bathroom area, and let's say that it's smaller than this, the wall ends here, and the door is here, positioned here. And if you just indicate your door opening by using a 45 square line, you will be misinforming people. It looks like there is no problem here. However, there is a big problem. If you do the correct drawing, as you can see, the door is hitting to the toilet seat here. And this is something that we don't want. So please do not use this indication. Always prefer drawing the whole movement by using your compass and creating an arc like this. Otherwise, there will be problems like that. This is not what you want to do. Also, please do not forget, I can just use a continuous line with middle thickness, middle darkness, line weight, and I should never erase these lines over the surface, floor surface. If I look down, I still keep seeing them, even if the door is open or closed. Please do not do that. These are very wrong examples. I see them a lot. So these are not correct. It doesn't matter if the door is open or closed. I still keep seeing the lines, the colors, the shapes over the surface of the floor. They are not lost. Okay. Otherwise, you will be indicating something like this, right? This is not good. This isn't appropriate. So please be careful about it. However, as you all know, all doors are not hinged like this. They don't move like that. There are some doors that can move sideways like this. So let's imagine that our other door is something like that. So this is what I need to indicate. I need to draw two lines like this. And this door moves to this direction. I can indicate them by using small arrows and dashed lines. This is how the door will be positioned once it's opened. And another one towards here. Of course, it doesn't have to move like this. It can move like that or like that. So I need to draw how it moves, express it how it moves. And I need to add top views of the people that are going to live here and walk in this indoor space, or in the garden, or in the sideways, because it's very important. And people, I can draw people in different positions, like this one here sitting in a chair. This is walking. This man is trying to hang something over the wall. And these are using the sidewalks here. It's very important for us to do these drawings, because once you add the upper views of the people, you are going to be presenting how people are going to live in the space that you designed. It's very important for us. Also, we need to write the names and areas of indoor and outdoor spaces, all the spaces. I know it's in Turkish, but you can write them in English. Here, let's say that this area, this small building, is for an exhibition. So this is an exhibition area. I need to, again, please do not forget our lettering rules. You can create these rows by using your thin and gray lines, the guiding lines, and write the name of the space using a 3 millimeter height of letters. You can write exhibition area, and you need to calculate the area, the total floor area of this indoor space by multiplying this dimension here with this one here, so that you are going to find the area in square meters. So it's 16.5 square meter area. And this is a terrace area, an outdoor space. It's 4 square meters, so I can write it here. And there's another terrace area in there, and I have a garden area. In total, there's all these soft and soft surfaces and these steps and the walkways here. In total, it's 21.5 square meters. And this is all the spaces that I have, the open spaces and the closed space of this building. So I write the name of the space and its area like this. I need to put section lines because just expressing this building by using a plan will not be enough. I need to give the vertical sections as well. And one can be positioned like this and the other can be positioned like this. So it will cut through the sidewalk, the garden wall, the soft soil, the terrace surface, this window here, the indoor surface, and the roof as well. And through these steps towards to the other street. And the other section, the BB section, will be cutting through the neighbor plot, the garden wall, our soil, this window here. And as you can remember, we will be looking towards this direction and this direction. So we need to do this naming AA and BB sections, since there are 2 sections here. Please be careful about the thickness. You need to use very thick and black lines to indicate the section line. Again, we are using a line, a space, a dot, a space, another line that are equal to each other. And again, please do not forget to create these guiding rules when you do the naming. After that, we need to indicate the levels. For the levels, we are going to use a symbol like this. It looks like a cross with a circle here. And over this line, we need to write the level of this surface. So you can think this symbol as something like this. There was this toy that we used to play when we were small. It is string, and when you pull the string, it rotates over the floor. Or some builders use an object like this. It's a brass, generally brass, a very heavy cone-shaped object with a string to check the wall if the wall is in a correct position or not. So you can imagine that like this, something like this, the upper view of this thing, and there is this big giant cross there. So when you put this over a floor surface, and when it touch this thing, this needle-like end touches there, you will be indicating the level of this point there. So we can do this. We can give the level of this floor surface here. It's all the same level, as you can see. There is no level difference in these borders. We can name it as the 0 level. It's like the origin level. So we can write this, a plus and a minus on top of each other, and 0.00. over this line. So this is our origin level. All this area is has the same level. And as you can remember, we use 2 steps to find the sidewalk here. Let's say that each step has a 15 centimeter height. So this is the first 15 centimeter, this is the second. So I have a 30 centimeter height, and this is the last one. I have in total a 45 centimeter height. So I can say that the level of this upper surface of the sidewalks and walkways are 45 centimeters lower than this zero surface. So I can put a little minus sign over the in front of the number to indicate that these are lower than this zero surface. And here, as you can see, I need to write them in meters. However, I don't use this m, minuscule m at the end. I just need to write minus 0.45. And I will know that this is 45 centimeters lower than the upper surface of this terrace and indoor floor areas here. And since the garden and the upper surface of the sidewalks are at the same level, I can just use one here, one here. So this is what I need to do. I need to show the level right in front of the doors. Here I have 2 doors. So one here, I put a level sign here and another here, just inside the doors and just outside the doors. And because there is a level difference, I can just put this here. So people can understand when they are walking in this sidewalk and walkway. After that, after they reach at this point, they're going to raise 45 centimeters higher with these steps. And when they set their foot on this terrace surface, they will be at this level. So it will be enough for me to indicate the indoor and outdoor levels of the doors. And if there is no level difference inside, I don't need to put any more level signs, and that will be all. Let's say that there was a level difference here. There was this step. So I need to indicate the level by using the signs again at each side of this difference. This is very important. So when you are drawing a plan, you need to put level signs outdoor and indoor of the doors that connects outdoor and indoor, and each side of the level difference, if there is a level difference. And that will be all. And you can draw the level line sign like this. You can draw a horizontal line, 1 centimeter, 1 millimeter, and another line, this time vertical, and positioned like this. This is a 4 millimeter line. So you will have a 2 millimeter part here, a 2 millimeter here, and this is the long part. And after that, by using your compass or circle template, you can draw a little circle here, like the it's just 1 millimeter radius. Its radius is just 1 millimeter. And after that, you can write the numbers and this plus and minus sign over this line by using a 2 millimeter text height, level height. So this is all the levels that you need to do. Also, we need to indicate the entrances by using these type of small arrows. However, please be careful that here I used another type of arrow. Here I used a triangular arrow like that, and I need to write entrance here. I need to indicate the north direction. That's very important for us. Here, this is the north. You can put an N, a capital N here to indicate the north. If there are stairs, we need to draw a line in the middle and put another type of arrow to indicate the upper direction. So this arrow always needs to show the upper direction. As you remember, it starts from here, and this is the upper part. This time here, this is the lower, and this is the upper part. So I need to put the arrow here and here. And as you can see, I put 2 more lines to indicate the first step. So there is this step there. Let's draw it here. There are 2 steps there. This is how I need to do. And this is the walkway. And this is the terrace. This is how I need to do. First, I need to create this line in the middle, put 2 lines to indicate the first step, and do the arrow to indicate the upper part. Or if you want, you can use a small circle instead of this lines here to indicate the first step. This is okay as well, and this is another way of showing it. So after that, we can give 2 dimensions, just the this total dimension here and this total dimension here to express the total length and width of this building. So I need to create these dimension lines and put these 2 inclined lines and write the number. This time it will be represented in centimeters. You remember that we use meters to indicate the levels. For the dimensions, we need to prefer centimeters, but we don't write small, minuscule C and M at the end. This is not correct. You just need to write the numbers. So this is how you can do. And please see that the dimension lines should not be touching the corners of the wall here. It starts here and it goes this way and it ends here. So it is showing the dimension of this wall, its total length. It's 500 centimeters here. And please do not connect these lines here. And you should do the dimension, your dimension lines, so that these are showing a direction. If you just create a line like this with equal short lines, people will not understand which direction they should look for. If you are giving the length of this wall here or this one here, people cannot be able to understand. They will be confused. However, if you do it like this, with this part here is longer than the other part, then they will understand that you are giving the length of this wall, the total length of this wall. So to draw the dimension lines, this is first, this is what you can do. First, you can decide where you put your dimension lines. You need to find the proper space so that all these lines and the numbers will not be overlapping with any other lines or any other text or anything like that. You need to find the proper space. Let's say that you are dealing with a building like this. So this is where you can put your dimension line, because if I prefer here, all these lines will be overlapping. So this is the best place. So I can draw this line here, and I can draw these long lines for 1 centimeter, 2 millimeters, and this part can be 1.5 millimeter here. And then I can, by using my set square, I can draw these lines and write the number over the line. After leaving a 1 millimeter space, I can use a 3 millimeter text height. I can create my rows with guiding lines and write the numbers over that. And after that, I need to give the total as well. By leaving a 6 millimeter space, I can create another line. Just continue these two lines and use these two inclined lines to indicate the total length here. And I can do the same with this direction. Again, I can find a proper space to draw my line. And I need to use the same length that I used before. It's 1.2 centimeters and 1.5 millimeter at this direction, here and here. I can use these same 45 degree inclined lines and write the numbers to the left side of the dimension line. This time, at this direction, again, I need to leave a 1 millimeter space and use the same 3 millimeter text height and leave another 6 millimeter spacing to give the total. By continuing these two lines, I can write the total. However, we are dealing with a smaller building, so when I do these dimensions, I will be giving the total. Just one dimension line at this direction and another one at this direction can be enough, will be enough. And the last thing on our list is the street names. So we can write the names of the streets here. So let's say that this is Yıldız Street and this is the Okul Street. We can write that. So this is the end of our plan drawing with its near surrounding. And please be very careful about the composition and your line weights and proper lettering. Otherwise, people cannot get the required information. And the level of the height of the cutting surface is very important. If you change it, you will be cutting other things and your plan will change. Here, there is this animation. It's very nice. Yeah. As you can see, as the level of the cutting plane changes, the plan changes. This is a multi-story building. So in each level, in each floor, I can have another plan like this. And the things that I need to draw will change when I look down. For a multi-story building, I can have different plans, different cuttings, and draw more plans. Okay, I cannot move. Yeah, underline weights are very important. If you use thick lines to indicate the cut surfaces with the proper hatching and thinner lines to indicate the surface that you see, people can understand. As you can see in this example, it's easy to read the borders of the space, the walls, the windows and the doors and the dimensions and all the texts. And I'm going to show the exact same plan with false line weights and very bad texting here. It's the same. However, it's impossible to understand the building, the space. You cannot see the walls, the windows, and everything is mixed. You cannot follow the dimensions. So it's very important for you to be careful about your line weights and your lettering style. The things that we have been learning since the beginning of this semester.